Jetzt kommen wir zu einem Anwendungsfeld von künstlicher Intelligenz, das die Mensch-Maschine-Interaktion auf ein komplett neues Level heben kann. Brain-Computer-Interfaces, Gehirn-Computer-Schnittstellen. Dr. Nataliya Kosmyna forscht genau dazu am MIT, am Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Wie können wir mit der Kraft unserer Gedanken mit Technologie interagieren? Sie spricht von einer Partnerschaft zwischen menschlicher und künstlicher Intelligenz. Und genau dafür hat sie 2016 ihr Startup Brainy gegründet. Nataliyas Vortrag ist jetzt auf Englisch, also wäre das jetzt der Moment, die Headsets aufzusetzen, wenn ihr welche habt. Nataliya, would you please join me on the stage? And the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this very warm welcome, and thank you for Körber Foundation for having me. For the next 15 minutes, we're gonna speak in English with some German translations that I use ChatGPT to help, so hopefully this should be very bearable and pleasant for you. I welcome the questions. I will be staying for the rest of the day, so I welcome the questions in English, French, or German with translation. So do not hesitate. But what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about something slightly different, specifically about the brain. Full-fledged computer, you are all born. And what specifically going to be talking about, what I was setting up on that little table, are devices that can pick up your brain activity in real time, and this can be used to detect your emotions, your feelings, and your imagination. I do talk about brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, as intelligences beyond human. And why should we care? There's already a lot of stressful questions of how the technology is speeding up before we can even catch up with it. Well, because look to your left, look to your right. Almost all of you are wearing some type of device already. Eyeglasses, face mask, microphone, translation. Shout out to our translator team, thank you so much. You already wear all of those on your body, and more importantly, on your head. So what we can do already is enable access to your brain activity. When I was 6 years old, I saw this movie. It's called Johnny Mnemonic. Did anyone hear about this movie? Yay, some hands. What is happening in this movie is the hero of Keanu Reeves carries in his head 240 gigabytes of antivirus against global pandemic. And he uses a dolphin interface to offload this data to the internet. Sounds like the most sci-fi universe, and this is the movie that literally inspired me to do brain-computer interfaces. And guess what? You right now have in all of your pockets a device that can give you 240 gigabytes or even more of the data already. But you know what? 6 years prior, Johnny Mnemonic, in 1990, there was another movie that was out. Let's watch it together.
Rufen Sie Rico an, den Sie eine Erinnerung an Ihren Idealurlaub kaufen können.
Sie waren interessiert an einer Erinnerung
Mars.
Sie werden begeistert sein, Doug.
Ich möchte wissen, wie echt das wird.
So echt wie jede andere Erinnerung in Ihrem Kopf. Auf Ihre absolut wichtigsten Mission.
Möchten Sie die Zukunft kennen?
Wie wär's mit der Vergangenheit? Du bist nicht du.
Du bist ich.
Seine Identität wurde ausgelöscht und eine neue implantiert.
Quato möchte das, was in Quates Kopf ist.
Sie sind Quato, stimmt's?
Falsch. Wenn ich nicht ich bin, dürfte ich erfahren, wer ich bin.
Du würdest mir doch nicht wehtun. Wir sind doch verheiratet.
Betrachte das hier als Scheidung.
Du hast vielleicht Nerven, dein Gesicht hier zu zeigen.
Was Sie nicht sagen. Mein Name ist nicht Quaid. In einer Stunde hat er vielleicht die totale Erinnerung.
Ich will Quaid lebendig haben zur Reimplantation.
Seid euch bereit für eine Überraschung? Denkt ihr, das hier ist der echte Quaid? Er ist es.
Das war eine bombige Fahrt.
Who remembers Total Recall? Everyone, that's awesome. You know, it was made in the year I was born, but I remember it because I built the system like Total Recall. And you know why? Because we actually built this reality I have just shown you. Fake memories, disinformation, that's what that whole movie is about. And there is much more these completely fictional scenarios that are much closer to reality that you could even imagine. But before we can tackle how we can fix those, and is there any way to actually fix those, this is just a super fast disclaimer slide about all of the companies and organizations that support my work throughout the years. Let's go back to the brain. So what I do in my research is mind reading. I try to understand your emotions, how you feel about things. Specifically, for example, we are closing up on the time to have lunch, so you might be thinking about what you're going to have for lunch. That's something that I can pick up with my devices. And of course, I also do a lot of brain reading, designing the devices that can understand electrical activity of your brain, magnetic activity of your brain, blood flow, oxygenation, spikes, etc., etc. And I do all of these devices to understand how you use the devices around you. Everything that you own has an impact on your brain, and this impact is pretty dramatic. As an example, ebook versus paper. If I use paper to read, 5 types of memory are activated versus only 3 if I use an ebook. So better have a paper copy of, for example, this report. You will remember more. And I promise the organizers did not pay me to say this publicity. Or, of course, ChatGPT. We have done a study at MIT where we have invited a lot of people to come to the lab over multiple weeks and use ChatGPT to solve a task versus use just their brain, so no devices, to solve the task. There is much less activations in your brain when you use ChatGPT versus when you use your brain. So guess who is winning here? Your brain. And you might have heard the term artificial general intelligence. Who have heard it? Awesome. So AGI will not be possible without BCI. That video that you have seen, which is about emotions, well, you cannot do that without understanding the brain. Because look at my face. Can be neutral, can be happy, can be unhappy, but I control it. The system cannot truly say, what is my emotion? Because I can fool it easily. But if I do have a device that can pick up my brain activity, then I actually will know exactly what I feel and how I feel. And of course, now with each single device and each single company having their own system that is head-worn system, we now need to work on fixing the problems that these systems introduced on our brain and the burden they introduced. Because devices around you form your habits, good and bad. And more importantly, even environment around you forms your habits. For example, you're going to a liquor store and you hear French music. Guess what bottle of wine you will end up buying? French. It's 99% accuracy, and that's called neuromarketing. And guess what? It is legal in Europe, it is legal in US, and it is legal in Asia. The shops do not disclose to you that they're using this. And of course, the feed. Each time you are scrolling through your apps, specifically social media apps, what is happening is that your dopamine is being pumped up because you're afraid of missing out. You know who designed Facebook and the feed? A neuroscientist from Stanford. Because it is designed based on the most basic brain capability, missing out on the fear of losing on important information for survival. Because thousands of years ago, we did not have anything like Facebook. What we had is a fire from a village somewhere nearby telling us that there is an enemy coming to attack us. So we tried to hide. This is what the feed was initially, the original feed. But now, this search for information is being used against you in social media. And of course, it's unfortunately not only in social media. Each single app you are using on your phone, you are buying something, you are sending an email, you have been encountering one of those. You are the product. And you are paying with your attention, your mental health, and with your time, and more importantly, with your well-being. The devices around you manipulate you, and your brain is not in control. So, what can we do with all these habits? How we can actually fix it and build the system for the betterment of humanity? Well, the response is we need to really focus on spaces, the spaces around us, because we exist outside of our screen. Look at us here. We use more than ChatGPT team tries to tell you, like just touch and your eyes. We use our whole body. We communicate with people around us. We are in this space, like here, for example. We are sharing this one space together. Or maybe you're at home and you can turn on your microwave using only your brain, or turn on your TV only using your brain. Maybe you are in a car driving and falling asleep, and the device that you are wearing can pick up when you're too tired and wake you up before it is too late. Maybe you are walking in the park and the device can support and monitor your cognitive state and attention. Maybe you are a bit less fortunate and you're right now in the hospital and the device can see your state, mental state, even if you are unconscious. And of course, maybe you are just playing by yourself, playing with your loved ones, and any type of sci-fictional universe around can become a reality with these types of systems. We are, of course, now in between. Screens are there, and they are here to stay. So, of course, we can use these different augmented reality or virtual reality devices to become either completely embedded in another reality or get closer to someone who is far, far away from us on another continent. For example, you can imagine a soccer ball and it will appear on the screen in front of you. Later today, I will be doing a demo, so if you want to stop by and try it, you're more than welcome. And of course, these devices are now moving forward even away from Earth to the space to study what happens to our brains in extreme environments and how we can then bring the science, this knowledge back here on Earth to support our cognitive and mental well-being. We are everywhere. And to really address this space, we need to go deeper. We need to build these devices. And that's what we have done. designing this hardware that really looks really similar to what you're used to, like a pair of glasses, or a Vision Pro device from Apple that can have just an embedded strip where you can already pick up your brain activity, and you already wear it on your head. There is no need to do anything else. It's already enhanced. And all of this will make possible this next scenario. Let's watch another video.
Eins sollten Sie über mich wissen. Ich bin auf eine sehr besondere Form von Security spezialisiert. Unterbewusstseins-Security.
Sie sprechen von Träumen.
Mr. Koch hat einen Job anzubieten, über den er gern mit Ihnen sprechen würde.
Ist das ein Praktikum oder so?
Nicht so ganz. Wir erschaffen die Welt des Traumes. Wir bringen die Testperson in den Traum hinein. Und sie füllt ihn mit ihren Geheimnissen.
Und Sie brechen ein und stehlen sie.
Naja, es ist streng genommen nicht ganz legal. Wir nennen es Inception. Ich bin soweit. Ich glaube, ich habe einen Weg zurückgefunden. Und dieser letzte Job, der bringt mich dorthin. Während man träumt, fühlt sich alles real an. Dass irgendwas merkwürdig war, erkennen wir erst, wenn wir wieder aufgewacht sind. Sie hatten die Verantwortung, Sie sind nicht darauf vorbereitet! Der Traum stürzt ein. Ich hab's unter Kontrolle. Wie sieht dann außer Kontrolle aus?
It's a great movie. Who has seen Inception? Most of you. Do you think it is possible to build a system like Inception? Raise your hand if you think it's possible. Yes, we actually have built it. 1/3 of your whole life you will spend sleeping. That's a dream of each single tech company on this planet. It's a $1 trillion industry. Because you know what? You are the least protected when you sleep. You are subconscious. Imagine you have an application that talks to you while you are lucid dreaming. It's the state between deep sleep and what is called fast eye movement, rapid eye movement, and REM1 sleep. And imagine we talk to you while you're in this stage of sleeping, and we're gonna suggest you words, and then you're gonna wake up, and you have embedded these concepts in your dream. So you're gonna wake up, you will have more dreams. They're gonna be more vivid, more alive, more creative. We have the system. There is a lot of research around the world that works in this direction. But imagine another scenario. There is some type of Alexa standing in your bedroom. Please don't do that. But in case you have it, imagine in this stage of sleep, the Alexa tells you, oh, your husband cheats on you or doesn't love you anymore. And it repeats and repeats and repeats. Guess what will happen? Maybe in 1 month from now, you will decide to divorce your partner, and you will not know the exact reason. It's because you were subconscious. You were in this in-between stage. And guess what? Neither European Union nor US have right now any type of law to protect you from inception. This is another example.
Do you want me to go to the kitchen? Yes.
In this video, you have been seeing me. I have been wearing the glasses, just like that. And that's what I used to control the robot called Spot from Boston Dynamics. These glasses have sensors, and as all the other devices you have seen in this presentation, just here on the sides. And as you have seen, if you paid attention, I was not moving, I was not talking. I just used this pair of glasses to communicate with Spot, to let it go to different parts of the room. It is a fully mobile application. It doesn't need GPUs. It doesn't need powerful computer. It just needs 2 iPhones to run and a pair of glasses. And we use it for assistive use cases, when people want more autonomy, when they want the robot to bring them a grocery bag, call an elevator, hold a door. There's a lot of potential in these applications that we are focusing on. Another use case, which we call brain switch, is used for patients who have advanced stages of ALS. For those of you who are fortunate not to know what ALS is, it's a neurodegenerative disease that does not, unfortunately, have any cure. And in these very advanced stages, you cannot communicate anymore. You cannot move, you cannot talk, you cannot even blink, but your brain is functioning. So we designed the system. It's just a pair of glasses with a phone, and the user can communicate basic needs to their caretaker. And we have worked from the very beginning on the system with their family members, with the caretakers, and with the patients. The photo behind me that you see is actually one of the patients here in Germany. I'm not going to disclose any more like a town or location or the state of the patient, but he's here and he's using the system. That's when they needed to go to the hospital, and the device can follow them from their place to the hospital and back to their place. And again, this is an example of the system that your ChatGPT will be useless, because person cannot do anything visually that that camera can recognize. But the brain, the main computer, is fully functioning, it's fully running. I hope with this presentation convinced you that humans need to get in control, become objects and not the subjects. Leveraging your brain is the key and will be the key for any future technology to follow and to be developed. If you want to learn more about this and other projects that we are doing at the lab, please visit the website or talk to me after this presentation. And danke schön.